Hello, and welcome back to the Coop De Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and we are here to recap what was a magnificent weekend in Perth. Yes, it was Aston Villa versus Manchester United from Optus Stadium. Me, Noah, Aman, we were all here in Perth. It was a fantastic, wild weekend. And just like last week, we're going to start up with a compilation video of all our memories. So that is coming up after this.
Hey guys, it's Noah here. Currently in Melbourne on the 22nd of July, so it's a Friday before the game. Got to get to the airport, pick up a couple of guys on the way, get some score predictions. Cannot wait for the game tomorrow against Man U. Villa signing off in Australia after an amazing trip. For me, being at Brisbane, unfortunately not being in town, is what we're going to finish off in Perth. Hopefully, beating United will be absolutely awesome. So I'm picking up one of my mates who's a Villa fan, and another one that is a United fan. So it's going to be awesome. Get some score predictions, guys. Cannot wait, but let's get to their house and let's get to the airport.
What has he got? What a fucking asset.
Thank you. You gave a thumbs up to me. Hello. Hello.
No, I am. Oh, I'm going to try to anyway. I'm the president of our
Train tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning. Should they? Yeah. They looked absolutely knackered.
It wasn't even that hard.
For the good time, it's obviously been a good couple of weeks, and then we get to come to Perth, which is more like Scottish weather.
Okay, we are here. It's game day. Aston Villa versus Manchester United for Optus. Weather is not too good here in Perth, but we're going to battle on. It's going to be amazing. And today's going to be another big one. So, up the Villa. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Touching you. Jack, mate, Manchester United off the stadium, last game in Australia. First of all, score prediction.
I think it's going to be 2-1. To United, unfortunately.
And obviously, last game of the Australian tour, how have you found it? Have you enjoyed your time going around?
I've loved it. This has been the most surreal experience. Been a Villa fan for 6 years now. Staying up all night watching 3am, 4am games, and now watching them at 2:30 and 5:45pm is so much better. So it's great to see them, but seeing Al Mohammadi, Peter Witt, it's just unbelievable. So it's been a great tour. I hope they come back.
And give us up the Villa.
Up the Villa!
Fantastic stadium, as you would know, Pete. I walked round it. Trying me to fucking do. Interested to see how we go tomorrow, ain't it? I'm looking forward. I think everyone's looking forward to the game, and I'm looking forward to it.
What's your prediction?
Tonight, I think we're going to salvage a draw and 2-2.
2-2?
I think 1-1, we get a goal back towards the end of the game.
1-1.
1-1?
I think we're going to fucking smash it.
Yeah.
2-1.
2-1?
Personally, I think we're going to beat them 2-1. 1-0 down. We're going to catch them on the break. They're going to come up to us, which will open more gaps up for our attacking players.
Alright guys, here with Scott from Coop De Villa, mate. The last game of the Australian tour, how are you feeling?
Oh mate, it's been an unbelievable couple of weeks. Really looking forward to it. I never thought I'd see Villa play in Perth, my hometown, so this is pretty special. I'm here with my mum and dad as well. I've never been to a Villa game with my mum and dad, so that's really cool. I think we're going to win tonight. I think 1-0, 3 1-0 wins, wrap up the Australian tour, boom, boom, off we go. So
Mate.
up to Villa, come on! Okay, so we're getting the bus to Optus Stadium now. We've just been at the Raffles. We've had a great time. Elmo was there, Peter Witt was there, and yeah, the rain is holding off for now. So hopefully it can go for a bit longer, and we can have a good game. And up the Villa, come on, here we go.
If you love Villa, stand up! If you love Villa, stand up! If you love Villa, stand up! I'm singing! Walking around, singing a song, shifting around the city as we go.
So Noah, it's half time. How you going down there, buddy?
It is wet and cold.
I'm sure I'm going to
The 2-0 down. It was absolutely bucketing down. It's stopped now. Might be back to my seat later. I've got the gaff, the man of the moment.
There he is.
We're going to win 3-2.
Come on, up the Villa.
Sort it out, Stevie. Sort them out.
They've only come to see the Villa, come to see the Villa. They've only come to see the Villa.
Last piece of play, boys. This is it. What a way to sign off the Australian tour. My voice is gone. What a stadium. Undefeated boys.
And it's Aston Villa. Aston Villa is in. We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. And it's Aston Villa. Aston Villa is in. Yes.
Right, this is the Aston Villa tour. Okay. Aston Villa tour. I'll guide you guys. Just this way, guys, please. Just this
Are you guys done with this song yet, or do you want another chorus? If we can do another chorus, though, it's going to be the loudest one here. You ready for it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I would just like to say that the Coop De Villa podcast. Nice name for it, okay. Of the Villa.
And some signs away. And turn the back in anger. I heard you say.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Yes, that was a magnificent weekend. A great afternoon at the Raffles as well. And I'll go to you first, Noah, because sorry, Aman, it was your first time in Perth, wasn't it? And how did you enjoy it, the whole experience?
Yeah, first time in Perth. Loved it so much. I'm still here right now. Haven't
Yes.
left. But the whole experience was amazing. I sort of had massive FOMO from seeing you guys all over in Brisbane, seeing all the posts in Brisbane. I was like, all right, like I need Perth to like come, to start as soon as possible. And yeah, once it did, it was probably really, really a great experience. I brought my partner over with me as well, and she enjoyed it thorouhthoroughly
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
And it was just good to catch up with you guys, catch up, with all of the supporters, and see some of my like Villa friends that I haven't seen in ages, and yeah, just the whole experience, going to training, meeting the players, getting autographs, and the game itself. Even the rain couldn't hamper
No.
the spirits and stuff. And just an amazing couple of weeks it's been so far in Perth. Absolutely loved it.
Well, that's it. No, we said last week it's going to be really hard to top Brisbane, and I still think Brisbane as a whole experience was better, but the actual game day and the game itself was absolutely phenomenal at Optus Stadium, and just incredible finish with that last minute equaliser.
I mean, you couldn't sum it up better. Callum Chambers, what a player. Thanks, Arsenal, for giving to us for free. But as you said, I mean, the actual build-up to the game, Brisbane was clear of that, in my opinion. The pick and whistle was unbelievable. But the game, high-quality game. The rain obviously dampened a little bit. I was sat right like the edge of the stand, so I was just getting buckets of rain falling on me from the stand. So I was drenched, but unbelievable. What a game. Leon Bailey, what a star as well.
Yeah, it was a great second half turnaround. Leon Bailey was at the forefront of it. Kessler Hayden as well. Dougie Louise, Buendia, I thought like absolutely changed the game. And we might have been a bit unfortunate not to win it, really, with the sort of second half chances. But Man United did dominate in that first half, and at halftime, after the shower from it was like a godlike,
shower. That's not a shower.
That's proper Perth rain right there. And we were all worried and thinking it might have been 4 or 5, but it's just great, Aman, just to see the fight back and guys that maybe aren't, in the first team lineup, really putting their hand up to be there.
I think once it was sort of known that, second half the changes were going to be made, and I think it's the right attitude from those players that you want to see. Buendia, Bailey obviously should have got man of the match, but I'm guessing a lot of plastic fans had the Optus app in the stadium to vote for Rashford. I don't even,
Was it a fan vote?
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I
it
didn't know that.
Oh, of course, then.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think it was like sort of that attitude of like, you got nothing to lose. Go out there and play and show what you can do. And, by all reports, Bailey's been having a massive preseason and wants to, right the wrong of the previous season as well. And it's probably the best performance I've ever seen from Leon Bailey in a Villa shirt, to be honest. Like you said, he could have had a couple more goals and maybe a couple more assists. And Buendia, when he came in that second half of that 15-20 minute spell as well, was just unplayable. And that little triangle on the right between Kessler Hayden, Sanson and Bailey, like you can name all of them. Chambers, Tim
Marongabang when he came on.
Well.
It really just seemed like we've got a bit of grit in this team over the preseason. I know we've had some of the media sort of calling out some of our tackles. There was the McGinn one in the Leeds match. There was the Digne one in the Brisbane Roar match. I think they were overzealous, maybe not dirty, but we are sort of showing that the team, really want to get stuck in. I mean, Buendia came off the field. His shirt was just like disgusting. Like he was on the ground. He got threw down. It's great to see. No. What did you think of just the commitment of this tour and the way that the players have really pushed themselves?
I mean, I think that's what he's saying that CBG has asked for the players. I mean, yes, it's pre-season, getting minutes in the leg, but you want to show what you're going to do. You got to fight for the shirt. I mean, players like Sanson, Leon Bailey, last season, Sanson, people saying you got to get rid of him, but he's actually shown in pre-season he's still capable of playing, like a proper midfielder for us. I mean, he's a Champions League midfielder. So, he's got a lot to play for. Kessler Hayden, he wants to be a backup, obviously over Gilbert, which I think that he might have shown a bit too much, so he might be the backup now. But, I mean, you got everything to prove in pre-season. It's not just fitness, it's showing the manager what you can do.
And speaking of Gilbert, man, I heard you had a bit of a run-in with him at the bar afterwards. Let us know what happened there.
Probably the only like maybe sour thing I guess you can say from the whole weekend. But yeah, went to the Globe post match for a few drinks and then went to the Avery bar, I think, which is behind it.
Yep.
Just heard some music playing, went up to the rooftop. I was having a few drinks with my missus. And then my missus went over to the bathroom and I was just, standing alone, trying not to look, awkward. And then sort of noticed these two guys from the corner of my eye. And then something just caught my eye. And when I had a look, I'm like, that's Gilbert and that's Augustin. And I'm like, nah, surely that's not them. And then had to look 2-3 times to make sure it was them. And I'm like, nah, that's Freddie Gilbert and, Ludwig Augustin. I didn't know who it was at the time, but when I Googled it later on, I thought Marshall, the other reserve keeper, was also there as well.
Okay.
But I obviously didn't really recognize him at the time. But yeah, went over to Freddie and was like, oh, I'm a massive Aston Villa fan. It's nice to meet you, and shook his hand, and he shook my hand. And the first thing he said was, I'm not an Aston Villa player, and walked off.
Ooh.
So that was, and that sort of made me question myself if, well, was actually him to begin with. So,
right.
But it was 100% him. I posted in the Facebook group about it. A lot of people said it was a random guy. 100% wasn't a random guy. And as we saw from the reports from Ashley in the Birmingham Mail, he wasn't on the plane back with the players and stuff. So,
yeah,
and we've seen the photos of him and Carney training with the under-18s. So, look.
Yes, he's not too happy, and he unfortunately took it out on the fans, which is not nice to see. But an interesting little nugget there, just to let us know that he probably won't be around come the end of August. I think, Noah.
I think he might have been told some news before he went out that he was probably on the transfer list to be gone. I mean, Freddie Gilbert doesn't normally do anything like that. He's pretty nice with the fans. He replies to their messages saying you're coming back, all this kind of stuff. It's quite a random thing to happen, So hopefully,
maybe just caught him at a bad time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he might have been told some bad news.
Yeah, well, that was one of the negatives from the weekend. The other one was the weather, which was absolutely horrible. Being from Perth myself, I was a little bit disappointed because normally in winter, Perth is a lovely place to come to. We have, nice days, it gets a bit cold in the evening and that, but it's normally pretty sunny and pretty nice. But we do get a lot of rain when it does rain. And Saturday just happened to be one of those days. It was absolutely torrential. And there was, of course, a chance that the game could have been called off, Noah. That was a very likely thing, and apparently the Man United officials really didn't want the game to go ahead.
No, well, apparently it's Christian Perslow that said the game has to go ahead. I mean, you've travelled all the way across the world. You've got 60,000 people coming to the stadium. You've got to play. Obviously, the ground itself wasn't in great condition.
No,
I'm
it wasn't.
sure people might not know that are watching this, but the overuse of that ground over the last 2 weeks, they've had rugby, they've had AFL, they've had a couple of soccer games. Like on that weekend, they played Friday, Saturday, Sunday on that ground. Like, it had been chewed up for 2 or 3 weeks. And look, it definitely wasn't the best condition, but I think you had to play. You've got fans come from everywhere. Like, Aman and myself have come from Melbourne. That's $600-700 in flights. I'm not sure if Aman paid in accommodation, but it's expensive.
So, I met people from Thailand, from UK, from all over. Yeah. So I'm glad they did go ahead with it, but I am disappointed with the pitch, and it was a freakish week in terms of weather, but that's not the scheduling wasn't good enough. No. And if Villa do come back, I don't think they're going to come to Perth because of this. I think this could really hurt their chances of any team coming out, but Villa especially is the one we're interested in. But one of the good things we'll sort of transit to is the way that the club put on the events. I thought that was brilliant, especially at the Raffles on the Friday. Aman, we had John McGinn, Esri Concert, Danny Ings, and Peter With as well. El Mohammadi. El Mohammadi and Peter With came back for the Saturday for the pre-match, and just the way that they had it all set up with the Villa, colours, the posters, the banners, the the FIFA. They had all kinds of stuff. I just really thought the club, compared to Brisbane, and I wasn't in Townsville, but from what I heard, it was just the best run sort of event off the pitch.
Yeah, hats off to everyone involved. That whoever was, from the Perth Lions, from Icon or TEG Sports Group, whoever it is, from Villa themselves. Everyone that was involved in putting on like that pre-game thing on Friday, and I think the fact that got to launch the away kit, which was did not expect.
No, that was fantastic.
Till that morning when I went to training and spoke to Ashley Priest, and he said, there's rumors of it that it could happen, but the fact that they did do it and got three of the players sort of out there as well, and all three spoke like really well. Peter With, probably amazing to listen to. First time I've ever sort of heard him speak live, I guess, like that.
Yeah.
And, spoke so clearly, told some great stories, answered questions, and then John McGinn, Danny Ings, Ezri Konsa, did a great job of representing the club at the launch. I think, the MC said, probably the marketing team probably wanted more words from Ezri when he was talking about the away kit when they asked him how it was, because he's like, this is nice, pretty much. But yeah, just amazing fan events. That were put on at the Raffles. Happy Hour was really good as well. I enjoyed that.
We all did enjoy that, Aman. And do you think, Noah, that it might have been because we were playing Manchester United in that particular game that all the marketing and the effort from the club seemed to be centered around that Perth match and maybe not the others?
I don't know, because I'm not too sure if you agree with me, but I think more Villa fans travelled to Brisbane. I think the first time you played in Australia, I think it's a bigger opportunity to market better. I mean, I know the Darling and Co, that's where the event was meant to be, but it wasn't really like advertised as well, I think, as the Perth one.
Yeah.
If it was because we're playing Man United, I don't know. Obviously, bigger drawing team, lots of plastics in the crowd. I was kind of a bit annoyed seeing people wearing Villa and Manchester United. They bought a bit of both, bit weird seeing that in the crowd.
And there was plenty of Man United fans in the Villa section,
I know,
which was also very disappointing.
One of my friends, he loved it. He was celebrating with the Villa as well, so he was having a bit of fun. But it was a bit of a weird sort of way to see it. But I will say, Villa merch sold out again, so fair play to the Villa fans.
And it felt like it. Yeah, it felt like an away day as well. Like we were absolutely giving it to them, as you saw in the video earlier. They don't really know how to take the banter, the plastics. So it was so fun to see that back and forth. And
they don't know how to sing either, Scott. I don't think I heard Man U fans at all the whole day. The whole day. I heard no chants from them. Maybe they sung "Glory, Glory, Man United," but Villa fans were singing every chant, especially one about Mason Greenwood, which was my favourite of the day.
Yes.
It was just a great day to be in Perth.
And I don't think Scott. I don't think those Man United fans just realised that Aston Villa had a supporter base. A lot of them were shocked. A lot of faces that I saw, guys are in the the Villa end and heard us chanting and singing, and they probably realize with all due respect to them, they might call themselves real supporters, but they probably realize what real supporters are.
I saw some guy in a full Ronaldo kit, like shorts, socks, the whole kit. When I was like, oh my god, here we go. He didn't even make it out. So that was hilarious to see. And like you said, yes, the only time I heard any kind of song was when they played "Glory, Glory, Man United" on the tannoy, and it was fantastic just to be louder than them. When we watched it back, you and me, Noah, on the Monday night, you could just hear the villains on the TV as well. And considering it was probably 80% United fans, I think that's a pretty good effort from us.
100%. Honestly, what a day. I mean, everyone would have seen the clips. Like, these are things I'm going to remember forever. Going to Brisbane, going to Perth to watch Aston Villa play in Australia. I'll never forget it. And
the Stevie G cutout that's done some miles over this trip. I tell you, that's fantastic. Kellen and Josh brought that, and everyone was having photos with it at the at the Globe after the game and selfies. It was so funny, and just to it was just. Everywhere we go, we just had comments from the Man United, fans hated it. The Villa fans loved it. It was great to see. And
I'll have to buy one for my background. What do you reckon? Get a Stevie
yeah,
cut out there. So
that's
we'll see
it.
what happens.
Get it in there. Get it in there. So I think let's look at the whole trip on a whole now. And Aman, what would you? Who impressed you? And do you think Steven Gerrard's team would have got a lot out of this trip going into Bournemouth next Saturday?
Yeah, 100%. I think just the whole preparation. We sort of heard that they've been training, mornings before the game. I think he's really put them through their paces. And I think as we discussed before, guys like Buendia and Bailey, especially on Bailey, full preseason, no injuries, chance to get that fitness up, prove yourself to the coaching staff, and hopefully, depending how the game goes against Rennes, I'd say probably could be a starter against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Probably not could be, should be a starter against Bournemouth, to be honest.
Yeah, well, Gerrard said after the game, if he had a big match the following day, Leon Bailey would start. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he starts against Rennes, and really interesting to see who plays up front come Bournemouth. So what sort of players impress you, Noah?
The likes of obviously Leon Bailey, who honestly he feels like a new signing, as weird as that sounds. Like he was injured 90% of last season, so he's kind of like a new signing again. Kesler Hayden for me was very impressive. Josh Feeney, I think I played about 40 odd minutes or whatever it was. He was really impressive. Who else really? Everyone. I mean, I was quite disappointed by the front three: Ings, Watkins, and Archer. Besides that, I think everyone else had a really, really good stint that went on the pitch. Olsen against Leeds was magnificent. Obviously, his distribution wasn't so good against United, but these things happen. But I think everyone, just the front three, really let me down.
I think Archer probably gets a pass because he scored in that game that he played, and he looked okay in the other match against Brisbane too. But Diogo Carlos for me was really good. Seeing him, Kamara, of course, was fantastic. He was probably man of the match in Brisbane and in first half of Townsville. There you go, there he is. And that's so. It's really good to see that the new signings have sort of hit the ground running. And like you said, like all the players that you mentioned, and I think going on to the negatives, it's Coutinho, it's Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings, and maybe even John McGinn to a lesser degree.
The new skipper, John McGinn.
Who is the new skipper? And I was going to get to that. Aman, your thoughts? Should Tyrone Mings feel hard done by, or do you think this is a smart move from Gerrard?
I guess to answer the first part, I don't think Mings should feel hard done by. It's I think everyone's sort of got the similar sort of views. Like, he is a great player, but I personally think like him not having the captaincy might be better for him. So now he can just focus on himself, focus on playing, and keeping his spot in the starting 11. So pressure's off on him now, and maybe we'll see a better Tyrone Mings, someone less prone to making mistakes. And then secondly, it's a big call to have McGinn as captain. He had some really good moments against United. Like, you saw the best of him, but you also saw the worst of him as well. So I guess it's just a matter of him consistently being at those best moments. But I don't agree with it. It's a big call. I would have had probably Martinez as captain, and then maybe Mings as vice captain. McGinn as vice captain, and Tyrone as one of the other vice captains as well. But Stevie G's seen them all. Been with them all throughout pre-season. You trust the gaffer's judgment, and throw your support behind the boys.
So Noah. So do you think that Mings having the captaincy taken away from him will mean that we could see Chambers and Carlos start against Bournemouth, and Mings drop to the bench?
There's a high possibility, but I think, as Aman said, every Villa fan kind of thinks that this will help Mings out. not being the captain, because in my opinion, he was a leader regardless. He was a leader in the championship. He was a leader the first season in the Premier League. So he's always going to be a vocal leader anyway. But I didn't quite see McGinn ever becoming a captain. I'm not sure who said it, but I saw on Twitter that the armband could help him though. Look at Jack Grealish when he became captain. It really, really motivated him to become and play better.
Yeah.
So this could really help McGinn, come to that Scotland kind of level that we all know that he bags in the goals for Scotland. So, I mean, it could mean that Mings could be dropped to the bench. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Chambers really impressed during preseason. Carlos is just an absolute beast, by the way. Like, he is an absolute weapon. So, I mean, it could be for sure.
That's it. Ollie Watkins was in the media today saying that how surprised he was when we got Diego Carlos, and that someone who has Champions League football, was happy to put that aside for maybe a couple of seasons and come to Villa where, we're a team on the rise, but, we're not at that Champions League level yet. So, that's great to see. About going back to the captaincy, my personal view is I think McGinn will do a good job. I think he does have the respect of the team, and he does have that sort of leadership quality. We've seen it with Scotland. I think it will lift him. I think it was surprising from the point of view that we've got a lot of midfielders, and I'm not sure. You could bank on him playing every game. If he had a couple of bad games, he might be out. But the same with Mings. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens and who that middle three is come Bournemouth, because there is so many question marks still as to, who's going to play, and that's only a positive thing for Gerrard, really. All right, well. That's about it. So as you can see, guys, we have had the most fantastic week. Well, 2 weeks. So Brisbane, Townsville, Perth. It's been amazing. The Villa Army have just been in full voice, and they've just come from here and far. Just everyone's come together. It's been such a great experience for me, for everyone here at Coop De Villa. Thanks so much for supporting us with our videos. We've been getting a lot of views over the last couple. So, please like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the Australian tour, and what have you thought about the support we have here and the atmosphere we created, because I can tell you that, from being in it, it was one of the highlights, of my time as a Villa fan. And it's so good to meet you guys. Finally, it was a absolute pleasure just having us all together at the Raffles and at the Globe and at the game itself. It was so good. Up the Villa, and we will see you all next week. Take it easy. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
Yay.